Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Spiritual Midwife. I'm your host, Claire Attio, and I'm so grateful you've joined me once again as we continue to walk the path of liberation, awakening, and soul sovereignty. Today we're stepping into the second episode of our new series inspired by Michael A. Singer's The Untethered Soul. If you missed the first episode, The Voice in Your Head, I encourage you to go back and listen. We laid the foundation for understanding the inner dialogue that shapes, controls, and often limits our lived experience. But today is about release. Not just letting go, but deeply understanding the energetics of clinging, resisting, holding, and freeing. This episode is entitled Cutting the Ties That Bind. Welcome to Spiritual Midwife, the podcast that tenderly guides you through the transformative journey of spiritual awakening and personal development towards the ultimate destination of soul sovereignty. I'm Claire Attio, a medicine woman and dedicated guide to the profound realm of soul sovereignty, and you are listening to Spiritual Midwife. So let's start with a question, one that is deceptively simple. What are you still holding on to? Not what you should let go of, not what you've already worked through. I'm asking, what still lives inside your energetic system that's quietly shaping how you show up in the world? Maybe it's a breakup from years ago, a parent's disapproval, a childhood betrayal or misunderstanding, a failure you've never forgiven yourself for, or a moment where you weren't seen, heard, or loved the way you needed to be. These moments, these energy imprints, are what Singer refers to as samskaras, impressions stored in the heart center that trigger emotional reactions whenever something brushes up against them. When we're living with unprocessed energy, life feels like a minefield. We're constantly trying to control our external reality to avoid being triggered. But here's the truth. Healing isn't about controlling our environment. It's about clearing our internal landscape. According to the Untethered Soul, we are energy beings. Our natural state is open, flowing radiance. But when we resist, suppress, or cling, we block that flow. Singer explains that each time we experience pain and close in around it, we trap the energy. We freeze a moment in time, and in that frozen moment becomes part of our identity. And that's how trauma can run our lives. Not just the big, obvious traumas, but the little moments. When we felt unseen, when we felt unsafe, when we felt unloved. Here's a key teaching. Your freedom lies not in avoiding discomfort, but in relaxing through it. So how do we actually release? I'm going to give you some powerful tools and principles based both on Singer's teachings and on other complementary healing modalities that I practice within my own life. One of the key things is the relax and release in the moment. when something triggers you, an insult, a rejection, a painful memory, pause. When you feel that contraction, notice where it lands in your body, and then breathe. And in that breath, allow yourself to soften, relax the part of you that wants to close up. Don't analyze it, don't fight it. Just breathe through that wave, that sensation, and let it pass through. This is what we call energetic hygiene. It's how we stop recycling the same pain stories over and over and over. Create a practice of writing out what you've already let go of, whether it's a memory, emotion, or belief. Use prompts like, what pain am I still carrying? Where have I felt unseen or unloved? Who am I when I let go of this? And that last one can be quite scary in itself. That can trigger many, many people on many, many levels, because we don't give ourselves the permission that often. And so it feels very alien and it feels very unknown. And in that unknown, fears get triggered. But it is absolutely worth asking the question of yourself and then allowing your thoughts, your feelings, the emotions that come up to run out onto the paper. When I'm writing like that, I actually recommend just writing it, closing the journal, walking away, and then coming back to it a few days later. It's a very insightful thing to see those words down on paper, and you will more than often than not have some real big aha moments when you've allowed to step away from the energy of releasing, and then you can come back and you can see what's been released. And there are many other things that need to be released that just slot into place in an aha moment, and it's almost like an instantaneous combustion when we read it back to ourselves. In releasing that one aspect, and then we read it back a few days later, we get to release maybe 3-4 others instantaneously. And a really good thing with the journaling session is to say, I release this now. I no longer carry what was never mine to hold. And that last statement is immensely powerful. I no longer carry what was never mine to hold, because a lot of the hurt, a lot of the pain is where we've absorbed and taken it from others and made it our own. And it's learning the distinction between that. Somatic awareness and movement is another good modality to use. Our issues live in our tissues. Gentle practice like somatic release, shaking, yoga, or intuitive dance help move stagnant emotional energy. As we move, we're saying to our body, it is safe to let go now. Shamanic or energetic work for those deeper wounds, guided support can be really transformative. So consider soul retrieval, cord cutting ceremonies, or inner child journeys. Energy healing. And obviously, those that I've just mentioned can all be done ourselves. We can do those ourselves. But if you know that you have something deep and what feels dark and heavy to you, you may benefit exponentially by seeking out a practitioner and having somebody hold that space for you so that you are safe to do the work that needs to be done. And all of these help us shift energy on a multi-dimensional level. Because when we're doing this work, we do it through all time, space, and dimension. Meditation for surrender. Singer says the ultimate key is this: stay open, let go, let life flow through you. In meditation, practice being the witness to the thoughts and feelings. Don't fix, follow, or fight. And I'll say that again. Don't fix, follow, or fight. And it does take practice not to do that. So if you do, don't beat yourself up too much. But bear that in mind. Don't fix, follow, or fight. Let them pass through like clouds across the sky. The more you release internally, the more space you create to live in the now. And that takes us back to the power of now and the teachings from that, which is a podcast series that I run back last year. If you don't know, if you haven't read and you haven't listened to the podcast, The Power of Now, then those recordings are available for you to listen to. But it's about being fully present, fully empowered. Releasing isn't rejection. It's an act of love. An act of love for yourself, for your soul, for your future and future generations of yours. Every time you let go, you free your heart, you reclaim your energy, you untangle yourself from illusion, and you say yes to your wholeness. Letting go is an initiation. It's a rite of passage into your sovereign soul self. And let me remind you, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs you showing up authentically. Even just one layer released is enough to shift your entire frequency. So, I ask you again, what are you still holding on to? And what would your life look like if you no longer carried that weight? This week, I invite you to become aware of when you tighten, when you resist, when you replay. And instead of spiraling into the old pattern, pause, breathe, and let it pass through. You don't need to manage your life. You need to liberate your energy. This is the path of the untethered soul. And this is the way to true freedom. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. In our next episode, we'll be exploring the heart as the gateway to liberation. Diving deep into how the open heart center becomes the most powerful portal to healing and unity and transcendence. So until then, keep breathing, keep releasing, keep remembering who you are. You have been listening to Spiritual Midwife, signing off for now.